Leon here with the Songwriter's Mentor. And today I want to share with you a portion of the interview that I did with Denny Doherty, Robin, and Eddy. And this was first broadcast back in 2002 as part of a program that Cheryl and I hosted called Session 31, where we interviewed musicians, singers, songwriters. So we had a really good time interviewing Denny, Robin, and Eddy, and they also performed together, as you saw in our previous video. So today I'm going to present a portion of the interview. So time to get into the time machine and go back to the year 2002 and this special episode of Session 31.
Like a forever interview.
Well, it changes, but that's
all right.
Who wants to
Hey, over there.
Let's start with Denny, since he hasn't talked in a while.
Sure.
Now, I went through all the album credits on the Mamas and Papas records and saw that you had co-written a few things.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you've written some songs for your play.
Yeah. I wrote a song, as a matter of fact, in 1970 that I'm using in the play that hasn't been used since then. But yeah, there's been a bit of writing in my path.
How would you compare the collaborative process, or how that worked, with writing on your own?
It's longer to write on your own because usually somebody else that you work with has an idea. So ideas get finished sooner, so things become, more clear sooner. When you're left to your own devices, you can change it or leave it, or maybe do it this way, or do it that way, do it this way. Somebody says, no, we'll do it this way. Let's just pick one. It gets down to that kind of thing when you have a catalyst to throw things off that can throw things back to you. Or if you can walk in, if you're lucky enough to find someone that writes poetry or writes lyrics, and you happen to have some music that just happens to fit. I don't know, it's more solitary by yourself. I think it takes longer. And then again, there are songs that are written in 10 minutes, and there are songs that take 10 years. I've never finished.
Yeah.
So it's always an ongoing process, no matter if you're writing with somebody or writing by yourself.
Yeah.
It's work.
Did John Phillips work really hard at his songwriting, or did they just come to him sometimes, or was it a combination?
Pick up the guitar and walk around and start. I mean, we were doing the Broadway show Man on the Moon, an Andy Warhol production. That's a whole other story altogether, but suffice it to say, some of the music was changed because, initially it was a screenplay called Space. And he came to New York and he changed it to The Man on the Moon and made it a Broadway show. And in doing so, a lot of the music changed. So in changing the music, I was staying at his place when I first arrived in New York, and he was changing some of the music. He was walking around in his shorts in the kitchen of his townhouse with his guitar on, changing lyrics at will, and sitting and writing them down. I'm going to keep playing. You write them down. So I'm writing down stream of consciousness that eventually wound up on the Broadway stage. It's uncut. They just like they came out. Some songs we didn't use. It's awfully blasé being a real live flower when fake bouquets go on stage every hour. He's coming up with these lines like he's just had that kind of mind. John
had a great
kind of
mind. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And it made it easy to work with him because if you give him an idea, bang, there's a song finished. That happened, except saw her again last night. I had the music was pretty well finished. John wrote the lyrics. Yeah, I saw her again last night. You know that I shouldn't. I don't know if you know anything about the story, but
I do know the story.
Enough said.
Okay.
Sometimes the story is right there in front of you and you don't see it.
Yeah.
With Eddy and I, it's a little bit more of a pulling teeth, pulling hair, scratch, fight, knock and drag out.
Songs are done. We write songs together.
Well, that's good too.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all right,
good.
as long
It's
as the
like
process
something
works.
comes out of it that's beautiful, And when I write on my
Songs
own,
are the easy part.
Songs are the easy part.
Well, people say, well, we have 900 songs. Well, who cares? We want to hear one, and then you got to pick one.
we've got
Look for the hit.
Yeah. Look.
Prospect for gold. It's the same thing.
yeah. Find the needle in the haystack.
So songs are the easy part, but finding a good song is the hard part?
Hit
Finding a
song.
place
There's
to
no
play,
way-
finding an audience, finding a record, finding someone to play it. That's, for me, the songwriting is easy. Remembering the songs and playing them correctly. Sometimes
That's getting hard for Eddy,
it's a little
actually.
hard.
Uh-oh.
Remembering things. But we won't go there
There's
either.
so many.
But for me, I
Depends
write
where you're at.
poetry. I write a lot of poetry, and there's some on our website actually, but I write a lot of poetry and some of my own songs on piano. And sometimes I'll write something on the piano, and then I'll write the words to something, and lo and behold, they actually fit together. And they weren't, I didn't start out to make them fit together. Sometimes a poem will come through me in less than 5 minutes. And other times I always struggle for the last line of a poem because it's got to wrap it up, it's got to
Right.
take everything together. So there are different times, different ways to go into that space, that creative space.
Yeah, and that makes each song different usually too.
Totally, yeah.
You know?
I write a lot from healing, from trauma and tragedy and emotional stuff, and that's how I
And I write
feel.
when I have money.
I write when I'm
You haven't
awake.
written in a while, have you? Ed?
Yeah, no, it's been long.
Wake
I'm
up and
playing
write.
old stuff. No, not serious.
All right, here's a question for all three of you. Can you remember the first song you wrote?
Yes.
You don't have to sing it, of course, but
Hmm.
Eddie might not remember it. But,
I remember.
oh, he does. Okay.
It was called Things.
Things.
Yeah,
We can
and
play
we
it.
even play it once in a while
Oh.
because it was so good that it still holds value in life.
It actually is a beautiful song.
Yeah.
He's not just bragging.
But I didn't go out and make a CD after I wrote that song. I lived another 30, 40 years before I decided to play it.
Ah. It's amazing how many artists we've talked to that still know and still sing and sometimes use the songs their very first song. Just
Could have been your best song.
yeah.
Spend the rest of your life trying to top that.
Yeah.
My girlfriend Lori Broadway and I used to ride home from school, riding bicycles, and we started singing a song. I always thought there'd be a rainbow. It was all happy stuff, because we were 8 years old, 9 years old. And now she's a bass player, the trombone teacher. She's a band director, and she's doing music now too, singing. So it's really funny that we even opened. We did the same concert together, and we opened the same concert.
Wow.
Together, so it's neat.
Yes, music is very nice. It's a great thing to be able to play music because when things do get dreary or you're by yourself, you always have your guitar or your piano, and you always have a friend, even if you don't have any friends. And it's a real nice relief. Any kids that want to play music, anything like that, because you can go away, because you have something to do.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing about music.
You may not always have
Like to
sports,
play it.
breaking knees and doing things like that, football. You may not always have football, you can only play till you're like 25, but
No.
you'll always have music.
You
Yeah.
have all those guys and towels and shirts you can tear off and stuff. And beer. Think of the beer.
What?
I have very
So
little to
music
do
is
with
very
football. as a rule.
solitary.
Okay, get back to
Okay,
Leon.
we're going to get back to this music thing
Oh.
instead of talking about football, of which I have no interest in.
Oh yeah, it's fun on Sundays. The right people.
Fitzable?
Football? Yeah.
Fitzable? Talk about Fitzable?
He's buzz.
Oh, I was out there.
Let's
for
get
that,
back to
sorry.
songwriting. Would you say there is an overall message that you're trying to present through your songs?
I know there is for me.
Brother
yeah, you
Eddie,
talked about.
definitely.
Yeah.
I believe in healing and love.
Mm-hmm.
Love is the message to me. And if you love what you're doing, and that energy infuses in your music, then other people could possibly be inspired to love and feel that themselves. I mean, it's really, my message is healing.
Yeah. That would be.
I'd have to concur with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good word, isn't it?
I've
Concur.
heard whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever hits my fancy.
Yeah.
Love, hate, life, death, dogs,
the
cats,
song is
things,
cool
it doesn't
too.
matter.
Yeah. the
Everything is
music
writable.
really-
It doesn't matter.
Not just
there are
love
no
and the-
rules. We make the rules.
Okay.
Not just love in the romantic sense of love. I'm
You're
talking
right about that, too.
Big love. Yeah.
Earthquakes.
Earthquake song.
I mean, you see, back in the old days, singing was a way of communicating. You see,
Yeah.
Right.
There's a
The
contrast.
news. Saying
a lion is eating my footer, but somebody call a cop.
I don't remember that one.
Well, that was a big hit back in the caveman days. Big hit. We was caves. You never heard the 2,000-year-old man?
Yeah, I've
Carl
heard.
Ryder, Mel Brooks?
We haven't had them on the show yet, but yeah.
Well,
we-
they should have them on there.
They're very funny. We hear they're hilarious, yes.
but it's not songwriting.
It's not
folks.
songwriting.
It's a comedy
Oh
routine.
yeah, Mel Brooks is a great songwriter.
Tom Lear.
No, that's
he was
true.
a great
Yeah,
songwriter.
Mel
Yeah.
Brooks is great.
He wrote "Springtime for
What
Hitler."
about
didn't
song? Yes,
he? Yeah.
Springtime for Hitler in Germany.
Okay.
That in itself was quite-
Deutschland is happy on the gate.
All right, we're going back in time to the early 70s. Tell us about the album "What You Gonna Do." Well, it looks like we left you with a little bit of a cliffhanger. We were just getting ready to talk about Denny's solo album, "What You Gonna Do." But in the next video, we're going to present another musical performance by Denny and Robin and Eddie. And then following that, we'll present another portion of the interview. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and be sure to share this video with your friends, your fellow songwriters, especially somebody you know that might be, or still is, a fan of the Mamas and Papas. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.